motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. Because we doing what? We doing life, motherfuckers. We doing life. Are you doing life today? Right? Did you wake up? You doing life, right? You also doing death. Because there ain't no life without death. 186,000 people, right, did not wake up today. May they rest in peace. But that sure does leave a lot of other motherfuckers out there trying to figure out what the fuck to do with their life. What are you going to do with your life today, right? What are you going to do with your life today? I'm enjoying some Palo Santo, burning up some Palo Santo. We got snow happening right now outside. It's still winter, right? I've been putting out the hoodies. Results kill excuses hoodies. Thank you to everybody that jumped on that deal, right? But guess what? The deal ain't over, right? Because the deal is every single day holding yourself accountable, holding yourself to a higher standard of living, right? Because all you're competing against is yourself. So every single day you have an opportunity to do what? Stack up wins, right? Be a better person than you were yesterday. That's the whole thing of life. Is can you challenge yourself, right? To do something today that you weren't willing to or capable of doing yesterday, right? Something that's going to build you up, something that's going to make you a better person, right? It's going to give you more energy, more appreciation, more gratitude, more a possibility to make a difference in this world, right? Because if you elevate who you are, right, you're going to elevate all them people around you, right? Everyone else around you is going to feel the impacts of your growth, your expansion, right? If you improve your health, guess what? It's contagious. Other motherfuckers start looking at you, be like, damn, this dude's improving his life. What are you doing? We want to know. It's magnetic energy, right? When we start vibrating and doing things on a whole nother energetic level of frequency, right? When we start switching up and people take notice, because what? Do they notice the bullshit or they notice the results? It's results, right? And that we all want to feel results. But in this day and age, it's right here. We want instant. We want instant gratification. I saw something yesterday. I'm 44, born in 1978. They said everybody that was basically from 1960 to 78, 80, right? Generation X. Man, we were the last generation to like go outside and play, right? We were the last generation to not have, cell phones, right? The last generation that used to have to use tape players, the Walkmans, right? To listen to music. The last generation to wake up and watch Saturday morning cartoons, eating a bowl of cereal, and then going outside and playing all day, riding bikes and shit. Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine? We didn't have all this fucking fancy schmancy technology, right? Just distracting us from all our goals and dreams, the instant. We used to have to use our imaginations outside playing with G.I. Joes and fucking Transformers and building stuff with Legos and, creating entire universes with our imagination outside. Some dirt, some water, right? It's crazy. And nowadays, all we want is instant. Everybody wants to instantly feel better about themselves, instantly lose weight, instantly feel like a winner, instantly be a millionaire, right? The Instant Millionaire. That's a really good book if you have not listened to it, though, right? That's about the only instant, right, that I truly believe in. And that's not even a shallow thing. It's not even about, oh, I'm a millionaire. No, it's really about self-worth, right? And what you think of yourself, how you value yourself, that self-talk, right? And we overlook all this shit so much. We overlook, right, what it is to put in the work, right? I posted this yesterday, and I know a lot of you see this shit, but you don't want to touch it because what? It hits you. It hits you in these uncomfortable spots. It hits you in places where you have to actually like face your fucking self, right? Face your bullshit. That's what this whole message has been about, right? Peeling back the layers of bullshit and getting to the trueness of who you are. That's why I come with the fucking truth bombs, F bombs, and whatever other bombs that we drop in, right? In terms of reaching people, right? There's too much softness in this world. Too many motherfuckers just settling for less, right? Just they good, you good. And if you good, you good, right? But I keep putting this message out because I know that when people circle back and actually do tell me, you know what, man, thank you. Thank you for your message. Thank you for the results kill excuses mantra. I was trying to make them excuses. Once you get the awareness in your head as to what's really going on with this dialogue between you, yourself, and your other self, you can't deny it. You can't deny that little bitch voice inside of you. And the bitch voice, it sounds so negative, right? Unfortunately, what the bitch voice is it's a wounded child, right? It's the wounded version of yourself as a little child, right? Carrying around a lot of insecurities, a lot of fear, right? A lot of hurt, right? Unresolved experiences that have caused you a lot of fear and anxiety and worry and doubt about the world being safe. And so you go around and everything that creates a little bit of resistance, everything that creates a little bit of challenge, or maybe a whole lot of challenge, right away you're opposed to it. And it's okay. That's normal, right? Y'all need to realize how normal it is for your intuition or that inner self to be like resistant upon things that are uncomfortable, things that are challenging, because it ain't going to go away, right? The thing that I do on a regular that's super, super uncomfortable is getting into that cold water, that cold immersion. I just got out of a cold shower. There's not a time that I don't know when I know I'm going to go do some cold therapy, cold water therapy. Right away, my mind is like, do you really need to? You've done it. We've been there. We've done it. You're good. You're good. You're good. It's all good. What you trying to show off? You trying to prove yourself? It's like none of that. None of that is true. That's that internal dialogue, though, just trying to avoid doing something uncomfortable. And so it takes your full sense of being, your consciousness, to say no, to check that. You have to check that, right? That little bitch voice, and tell it to what? Shut the fuck up, right? We doing this because this is what we do. And it's like the more and more that you embrace challenge, uncomfortability, adversity, right? It's like you toughen your mind so that when other problems, issues of life present themselves, you just kind of act like you have a program running that says, you know what, this ain't that bad. Shit, this ain't that bad, right? Maybe it's a health issue, maybe it's a financial issue, maybe it's a relationship issue, right? Maybe it's a workplace issue, whatever it is. These issues that we get so fucking caught up on, they're not as big as sometimes our psyche can make shit out to be. And it's wild. Like we really do turn, you know, these little tiny blimps of life into like these mountains, a molehill into a mountain, ant pile into a fucking mountain, psychologically speaking. And that's how you know that you've just sort of lost control. You've lost real perspective on your life. You've gotten caught up in everything needs to be easy. Everything needs to happen instantly. Magic, quick manifestation. Everything needs to just happen as you want it. And if it doesn't, then you're a failure or something's wrong with you or you've sinned too much or whatever it is, right? We tell ourselves all kinds of weird shit to keep us held back. It's crazy. And actually, the more that you succeed in life, the more resistance you get, right? The more that your ego, your psyche wants to take you back, all the way back to the comfort zone, because you start to become something that you didn't believe that you could become. And yet, so then you're having to, when you start breaking through these barriers of your own inner psyche, your own inner beliefs, you start actually earning some damn results. It's like you're freaking yourself the fuck out, because you're like, wait, this wasn't supposed to be possible. And now it's happening, and I don't know what to do. I feel like a fraud, right? You see it all the time. People, I was listening to a really inspirational man, motivational man, Jim Rohn, and he was talking about this person that never really had any money, and they won $500, right? Not a lot, but they won the $500, and they said, man, I can't believe I won the $500. I never win anything. I've seen you guys post this shit. We've all felt that way, especially if we come from a tough place, right? Where people were scraping by, where scarcity was a real thing, right? If you've been in an environment where it's always paycheck to paycheck, your relationship with money has to change. And what's going to change it? Winning the fucking lotto, right? Or literally changing your psychology about money, your beliefs. And how do you change beliefs? You got to write the shit down. You have to write it down and start believing and redefining these things in your life. But back to the girl with the 500. She said it, right? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I never win anything. And then a week later, guess what? She breaks her leg. She breaks her leg, and the doctor's bill, it comes out to what? $500. And this is what we do to ourselves, right? Because we just don't feel it's possible. We have truly set ourselves up for failure, psychologically speaking, because we just don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we're worthy of anything that we desire. And we have all of these limiting beliefs. Some of them are religious, some of them are spiritual, some of them are family, some of them are generational beliefs that just say you are not good enough, or if you want that, you're bad. And it's like, those are all lies. Like, if you really go inside of who you are and you really say, what do I desire? What do I want in this life? What do I want? Right? And if you really flesh that out, and if what you want is like a beachfront home, are you a bad person for wanting that? That's bad? Because you want to have a mansion on the beach? Or a Lamborghini? Or a mountain cabin? Whatever it is. But we always want to judge, right? We always want, I don't want that. I want this. I want that. You know, it's like we're so fucking judgmental and particular, skeptical, right? And all of it just messes us up, because we can't even just get into silencing all the noise around us, getting into ourselves and figuring out, what do you want and why? Why do you want it? And sometimes you could just want something because, right, I want to feel stable. I want to feel secure. By having a mansion like that, I've never had anything like that. I'm barely able to pay my fucking rent. I'm barely able to buy groceries. That if I had a mansion on a beach, in my mind, that would be like a version of me that is secure and stable, financially speaking. And yet there's all this other shit that's going to get in the way of that honest dialogue with yourself, that genuine dialogue with yourself, to really just say that you can have any reason why. And there's nothing wrong with it. The only time shit gets wrong is when you want something that you know is going to fuck somebody else over, right? That your intentions is, I want this, but it's like, I want to, and I guess the one example I could think of is, let's just say that you you have this major crush, you have this major um, desire for a human being you want to hook up with, but they're married, right? You know they're married. And you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that person, even if that means they, violating their marriage, right? To me, that's fucked up. That's a no-go ever for me. And there's a lot of other just even material examples, but I think when you do something that is going to harm someone else, right, for you to obtain whatever it is you desire, then that's a no-go. That's you need to reevaluate that. Get some other advice, right? Reach out to some people and really filter through how you can actually look at that from a different perspective. But my genuine belief is most motherfuckers do not think that way. Most of y'all just want something genuine, right? You just want something real, right? You want something that lasts, right? But you want this perfect relationship, but you don't have a perfect relationship with yourself. Or even just the thought of perfection is impossible. When it's like, perfect is saying that everything as is perfect. All the flaws, the good, the bad, and the motherfucking ugly of your life is what it is to be perfect. Where we screw up is when we say perfect, but what we really mean is flawless, blameless. Do you see the difference? Perfection does not mean flawless. Are you hearing this? So when you talk about perfection, you can, even that's something that we have this really narrow fucking belief about. Nobody's perfect. What do you mean? Do you really mean flawless? If you mean flawless, then that you should use the word flaw. No one's flawless, but perfect. I know my life with that is perfect, right? Because I believe in the divine creation and the divine organization of everything that's ever happened to me, right? To get me to this place right now, which is the best place ever, right? I was talking to someone the other day. He's a real big outdoorsy type man. And, he was kind of fantasizing about, kind of being born in a, 100 years too late or something, right? Like wanting to live in like the frontier days and the Wild West and shit. And I used to have that fantasy too, but I don't have that no more. Because I truly do value the way that you can meld, right, that desire to be connected to nature, to creation, to the outdoors, to the wild, to the ruggedness of this beautiful earth that we call home, but then also to leverage technology to be able to experience it in amounts of abundance like never before, right? It's that modern day mountain man, right? High tech mountain man that it's like in the past, 100 years ago, if you were wanting to go from one part of the country to the other or one part of the world to the other, I mean, this shit would take years, months, years, expeditions of travel, harshest conditions. And now you can do this shit in an afternoon. You can jump on a flight and be on the other side of the world by fucking dinner. Right? That's how crazy technology is. And so to me, that's irreplaceable. This is the best time to ever be alive. Because this is the time that you chose to be alive. And we don't value this enough, right? I always say the greatest gift God's ever given us is life. Number two, the greatest gift is connection, right? And we take that for granted too, right? We think that we have to keep people in our lives, even if they're no good for us. And I'm done with that. And I know that messes a lot of people up. That doesn't mean that if I keep you more than an arm's distance away, that don't mean I don't love you. That don't mean I don't care about you, right? It just means that I'm trying to protect my energy. That me protecting my energy is way more important than the desire that I have to have someone in my life because I'm blood related to them, right? Right. I just have to reduce the amount of exposure. That way I can maintain a higher quality of life, right? And a lot of us, we're settling, right? We settle. If you're unhappy with your situation in 2023, I'm seeing a lot of people really flustered that here we go, right? We're already almost down to 2 months into the year. And there's a lot of people that are like, dang, this year's starting off crazy. What's honestly, I don't see anything different this year from last year, from the year before, the year before that, other than your mindset. It's your mindset. It's your attitude, right? Because shit can happen really fucking quick. You can switch up things very quickly if you have the right mindset, positive mental attitude. It's so simple, but it's always not easy because it does take a level of faith, right? To really believe that the universe, God, it's not against you. God's not punishing you for making bad mistakes, right? You should own your mistakes. And a lot of people have a hard time just doing that, which that would clear out, right? Some karmic energy. That would clear out some space by you just owning some mistakes, right? Seeking some reconciliation, right? Seeking some forgiveness, right? If you're really stumbling and bumbling through the new year, right? This is your creation, your life, your existence, your experience is your creating. You have created this experience. Do you not believe this? Thus, if you are unhappy, thus, if you are overwhelmed, thus, if you are feeling like shit, right? There are a lot of things, almost limitless, endless possibilities to what you can do to switch up today, how you feel. And is it going to be instant? No. Some things could be instant, right? But more times than not, it takes consistency over an extended period of time to bring about lasting transformation. Do you want me to say that one more time, right? It takes consistency over an extended period of time. I'm going to say minimum 3, 6, 9, 12 months, right? Consistency over up to 12 months, right? Little by little, consistency every day, every week, every month for 12 months, right? For you to truly bring about, listen to this, lasting transformation in your life, right? The get rich quick shit, the fucking crash diets, the, cosmetic surgeries, all this quick stuff, it doesn't last. That's why you got to keep going back to it, right? But if you truly are ready at a point to where you're like, man, nothing is working, I'm tired of all this easy, right? Everywhere you look, if someone is selling you, look, I just made whatever is the hard thing, right? Making 6 figures, 7 figures. I have a plan to make it easy for you. Sign up for this course and it's easy. Everybody's selling this shit. You want to lose 50 pounds? Sign up for this and I'll make it easy for you, right? But easy doesn't necessarily mean instant, right? You want to free up your life? You want more freedom? Guess what? Sign up for this and I'll make it easy, right? It doesn't mean instant. And it doesn't mean that all those things are bullshit, right? You do got to have some discernment to know who you're truly messing with, right? To really examine who this person is and what is their resume. What do they bring to the table that is something that you want to emulate, right? Enough that you're willing to trust these people, right? With your time and your resources, your wallet, right? To say, you know what, I'm going to follow you, right? I'm going to invest my time and I'm going to invest some resources and I'm going to follow your fucking guidance to bring about results in my life. And yeah, a lot of you will just continue to try and 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 try again. What? In the dark. Because we also got this incredible resource called YouTube where you can learn anything right now. You can learn anything for free, right? But again, there's this other piece to it that most of us are not willing to be vulnerable enough about, which is accountable, right? Because when you become accountable to something outside yourself, that means that someone's watching, right? And that means that even if you fuck up, right, someone's going to help you get back up. They're not going to carry you, right? If they're a good coach, if they're a good mentor, if they're a good teacher, they're not going to carry you, but they will support you to get back on your feet, right? And then keep marching down towards your goals, right? But we're so afraid of that accountability piece, being accountable to someone outside of ourselves. One, we probably got trust issues like never before. We all been heartbroken. We all been fucking lied and betrayed and deceived, and from all types of shit, right? And so a lot of us, you know, it's kind of like fool me once, right? Shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, right? I'm not gonna get fooled 3 times. And then, so then what do? We just give up? We just settle, right? Or can we find something deeper inside of us that says, I still have these goals. I still have these dreams. I still have these things that I want to fulfill in my life. And if I do the math, I do the calculus in my life right now, I'm only making X. I'm not going to get to those goals and those dreams, right? Doing the same thing. So I need to do something new, something different. Where do I go? Where do I turn? Right? Who do I trust? And so you got to build that relationship with yourself. First, you got to trust yourself, right? And you got to forgive the shit that's fucked you over in the past, that's messed you up, right? You got to forgive it. And forgiving isn't forgetting, right? And forgiving isn't letting those people off the hook. It's letting you off the hook. Because if you have a better heart, if you're carrying resentment, right? If you're carrying anger, hatred towards somebody that's hurt you, genuinely messed you up, right? You're drinking poison wishing they die, right? Because they're probably out there living their best lives. And some of you even get more resentful because you're like, fuck, this person doesn't deserve it. But again, why are you externally focused? You don't know. No, we don't know. You can't learn anything by just trying to analyze why someone else is getting to do what they're doing when you're not living their life. You need to look and examine your own life, your own sense of joy, happiness, peace, fulfillment, passion, purpose, right? All of those things you need to examine in yourself, right? Regardless of your circumstances, and say, what can I do to improve these? These are the things that matter to me. And what do I do today to improve it? Right? And so many of us, it starts with that mindset, right? So many of us, it starts with being so fed up with trying shit and failing because we're trying it on our own, right? Because we got pride, because we got guards up that we don't want to ask for help, because we don't want to get burned, right? We don't want to get screwed over again. And I get all that, right? But you also got to get to a place where you're healed, to where you can allow yourself permission to trust, right? To trust again, to love again, to believe again, to dream again, all of these things. To realize that if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, right? And even in your 60s, life's not over. Life is not over if you're in your 30s, 40s, right? For sure, man. Like, you still have a long life. It's halftime. And if you're in your 50s, 60s, right? You still got a ways to go. There's still like a full another quarter plus of life to just truly live to the fullest. And it's all your perspective and your attitude, right? And the most important thing is, and you can see this all around, is so many people, all different ages, right? They haven't established that relationship with themselves. But yet we want someone else to show up. And there is a huge breakdown right now in relationships, right? Expectations, gender roles. Like we're going through a revolution right now that's been underway for probably at least 20 plus years, right? With what really we want and what we desire. I saw a thing the other day where right now you have more people, and this is a big contributor to the housing crisis, right? A lot of people are having an issue finding suitable housing, and now more than ever people are not getting in relationships, and yet they're choosing to live on their own. So you have more and more and more and more people living in multifamily housing alone, right? And because you don't have people living together, right, that obviously reduces the amount of inventory and availability for other people, and it creates it's a systematic issue. And yet, right, we can't all solve those kinds of issues. We need to solve our issues, right? Because we can. That's another thing. We get so caught up in all the social issues, right? It gets us all moved and all emotional and all frustrated and all triggered and all, hating on our neighbors, hating on the people around us, hating on our own family members, that it's like the only thing you can control is you, right? I mean, if you can start there, right, you will improve the quality of your life significantly. As if you can just improve the relationship you have with yourself. Period. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter if you're saved, right? We can all improve our relationships with ourselves, our self-talk, our self-beliefs, right? Our self-esteem, our self-worth. All of that can be improved at any stage of life. I mean, I've been on this journey like 44 years of life, but 10 years of saying, look, I'm tired of being a drunk motherfucker, right? Everywhere I go, getting drunk, right? Waking up discombobulated, right? Dehydrated, right? Feeling like I just put myself through a fucking torturous experiment, but it was really just watching sports, celebrating, partying, right? And just waking up like shit, feeling fucking like a piece of shit, man. And I got tired of doing that. And I had to get sober. I had to wake the fuck up and I had to switch some things up, right? And guess what? It wasn't instant. That first week, that first day, that first month, that first 90 days, that first year, it was not easy to change my habits, right? All of the celebrations, all of the big games, all of the things that bring people together in this country to party. It was not easy. And a lot of times I found myself very alone because everybody wants to party, right? And you ain't cool no more. You think you're better if you don't want to continue partying. And yet, I wouldn't change it up for anything. I wish I could change up some of the fucking dumb shit I did as a drunk motherfucker that got me in a lot of problems, made my own personal issues, even legal issues that created more problems and issues in my life. But I know that, again, it's still the perfect plan for this life, because you have to be grounded in reality. And reality is there are things that have happened to you in your life that you cannot change. You cannot change it, right? And there are things that you can change. And you need to know the difference of what you can change and what you cannot change, right? You can't change how you cannot change things that have happened, right? I can't change that I was arrested. If I was waking up this morning and I'm 50 pounds overweight, I can't change that I'm 50 pounds overweight in an instant, but I can change, right, my attitude to say, you know what? This time next year, I will not be 50 pounds overweight. I will either have lost 50 pounds or more, or I will be on a very clear path to lose that weight. That is something you can change. Your weight is something you can change. You could go up, you could go down, right? You do not have to settle for where you're at. You can change your strength. You can change your energy. You can change your attitude. You can change the level of education you have. You can change the amount of money you make. You can change the amount of money you save. You can change the amount of money you spend, right? You can't change if you had dropped out of high school back in the day. Can't change if you quit on college, right? You can't change that if you accepted a job that you're not happy with, but you could change whether you're going to continue doing the job, right? If you've already put yourself in the job, you can't change that, but you can change whether or not you're going to continue with a job that you're not happy doing, right? You can't change whether you got married and got divorced, right? Can't change that, but you can change the relationship you have with yourself, how much you love yourself, and you can then change the types of people you attract into your life so that you don't cause yourself more toxic troubles in terms of a relationship, right? But so many of us, in order to change, we have to challenge ourselves, right? To take on things that are uncomfortable, to be vulnerable, to ask for help, to be held accountable. And too many people were not willing to do that because we're embarrassed, because we're shy, because we're scared, right? Because people are going to judge us, because people are going to know that this is how we feel about ourselves. Or people, and it's like we live in this fucking crazy fantasy world where most of us have youthful minds. Most of us have youthful minds. We still kind of picture ourselves, right? You're at the pool. If you can picture yourself being at like the lake or at the pool, right? You're 100 pounds overweight, but you're still picturing yourself because you're seeing the hotties or the studs, right? These young, youthful people that have these beautiful bodies, right? You're still picturing yourself in the beautiful body, but if someone was to take a picture of you, picturing them, watching them, it's not so beautiful, right? It's not what you are imagining. So we manipulate the hell out of ourselves in terms of having a realistic appraisal of who we are and how we got there. And then willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to put in the work, to turn back the hands of time, to regain not only the youthful mind that I have, to reinvigorate that, but to create the youthful body that I have. It's sad, man. It's sad how shitty our health is in this day and age, because we have more information, right, at our fingertips. We all have this technology where instructors of all types of fitness can come in and teach us a class right there in our bedroom, in our living room, on our kitchen, in our fucking patio, wherever we want to exercise, right? We don't have to go somewhere no more. You can just watch the video right there and put in the work in the privacy of your own home, right? But most of us, we won't hold ourselves accountable to that, right? And I know I'm one of those people that anytime I've purchased, right, I'm a very active guy. You guys see this shit. I'm a very active man. Health and fitness is really at the top of my board, right? Mindfulness, nutrition, health, and fitness. Those would be the top three. But anytime over the course of my life that I invested in, I'm going to do a home gym, I'm going to get myself a weight bench, and I'm going to get myself a bench and weights and fucking dumbbells, and I don't have to go to the gym no more, right? I never used it on a consistent basis. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm telling you the kind of guy I am. For whatever reason, my home is like a sanctuary, and it always has been. So it's a place where I rest, where I find place to just be at peace. I don't really get like this fucking, let me hammer out a fucking workout. And I'm very active, but I still struggle. Like even recently when I'm up at the ranch, I don't have a gym close by. And so I've been trying to do some yoga, watching on YouTube. And I've only done like one or two of these. And it's like, do I lack the discipline? No, I don't know. It's something I got to work on though. Right? Because if I do want to maintain my health and fitness and then also enjoy the seclusion of a place like that, one, I have to either continue, I got to keep the nutrition on lock, right? Because nutrition is greater than exercise. But if I want to maintain the muscle mass, right, the lean muscle, the flexibility, the strength, I got to continue exercising. So that's something I have to work on. So I'm just saying, a lot of people, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to do this shit at home or whatever, and you don't. And it's really just accountability piece. But I know when I get myself up, when I put my shoes on and I fucking start the truck, I'm good. I'm going to the gym. There is no question about what's going to happen once I walk through the gym door. No question. There's no question about what comes next. And I think a lot of you need that same level of accountability. Is if you're not willing to be self-disciplined, self-motivated, you need to get to an honest place where you can say, you know what, how do I ask for some help? I'm ready to change up some shit. The year is not gone yet, right? But how many of you are going to let a whole nother year pass by, making excuses for a whole nother year, right? Because if you don't start getting a new routine established right now, once summer comes, you know you're back into whatever your routine is, right? And so you still have a few more months to create some new habits, a new mindset to really transform yourself. But the minute summer kicks in, May into June, oh shit, it's done. You're going to fall back into whatever your little routine is. And usually it's not the healthiest of routines. And then here comes the fall, and then here comes the holidays. And guess what? There's the year. It's done. It's done. And you're right back where you're at. Weigh yourself this morning. Mark my words. Weigh yourself this morning. If you do not change something now, right? By this time next year, you will be at the same or at worst, right? Health-wise, just on the scale, just looking down at the scale. And so I'm here to help. I'm going to keep showing up, keep sending out this message, right? Of transformation, of positivity, right? Even if it's interlaced with some language that a lot of you just can't handle, man. You can't stomach it. I get it. Right? Maybe at some point in the future, I'm going to figure out, another show that isn't going to just hurt your ears so much. But that's not now, because this is what flows. When I can press live, talk for 40 plus minutes, right? Speaking from the heart, sharing a message of life, sharing a message of inspiration that's touching people's lives. How do I change that? Why would I change that? I'm going to just keep making plays, man. And no matter what is happening in my life, I'm going to keep making plays. I'm going to keep showing up, because I'm showing up for me. I'm showing up for my family. And I'm showing up for the people that are part of my life. The people that are listening to this, you're a part of my life. Whether I see you or not, I would love it, man. Reach out to me. I would love to hear some encouragement that this message has helped you to grow in an area of your life. I love hearing these stories, right? And a lot of times you don't realize how that inspires me to keep going, right? And it's important that you do that. Reciprocity is so important. If someone is pouring into your life, for you to pour back into theirs, and for sure for you to pour into the lives of others, man, that is a beautiful thing. And I've seen that time and time and time again. When I spend time with people, and this is spending time with you, and I'm inspiring you, holy shit. I'll circle back with somebody months later and they're telling me how that changed their lives, how it inspired them. And then they're over there inspiring other people. It's like, I wish I could see all the ripples, right? All the ripples of impact that I've made just through my voice, through this message. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to keep showing up for this. I'm going to keep showing up, right? And if you want to show up for yourself, Look, man, hop on that website, resultskillexcuses.com. Get yourself a sticker, get yourself some gear, a hoodie. It's still snowing over here, it's still cold. Every day's hoodie season, right? Support what supports you, right? Start repping that mantra. Results kill excuses, because even just that shirt, right? You may not be getting the size you wish you could be, but you getting that shirt, right? Straight up. You buy that shirt today, you buy a hoodie today, and you go on a march, you go on a mission, right? But you're wearing that shirt. Results kill excuses. And the reason why you're buying it is because it's planting a seed in you that you're not going to allow for the excuses to stop you from getting to a goal of better health, a goal of better nutrition, right? And you start dropping pounds and you start slimming down and you start changing your sizes in a positive direction, right? Trust me, I will buy you that next shirt. Celebrate your story. Celebrate it out loud, right? Tell the story about how this message impacted you, and I will buy you that next size, right? The next size to your best version of yourself, right? I appreciate you guys. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day of life. It's hump day. Let's get it. Let's make a difference in this world. Let's make a difference in ourselves. Let's ask for help when we need to, right? I got therapy today. Anybody else? Anybody else willing to take on the therapy in 23 challenge? We all need some therapy, motherfuckers. Why don't you get some, right? Why don't you get some today? Ask for it. Start that process, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me.